So do me a favor, tell me your favorite area control game before we start this video. I'd love to hear about what you play that's an area control game. Area control, check. Resource management, check. Little bit of a war game, check. All this combined to make Amrtaka, which I might not be saying properly. Please forgive me. How's it going, y'all? It's Caravan Dan from Gaming Caravan, and today we're going to be doing a before you buy preview of Amrtaka. If you don't know, this game is on Gamefound, coming out pretty soon in the month of November, I believe, right now. So if you want to know more information about this game, if you want to know how a little bit how it's played, come ahead and check out this video with me. Let's get started with the publisher. That publisher is Undertree Games, and the designer is NRK. The overview of the game, we have the theme where you are a warrior king leading your kingdom to victory by securing certain locations on the cards and the immortal followers. You want to get the strength to be a total of 15 at that location in order to claim that benefit. The way the game is going to work is at the you're going to take a turn by utilizing one of your 6 cards in your hand. Everyone will have 6 cards. The card has a lot of details on it. It has a strength on the top right. It has the type of weapon that you need in order to utilize the card properly. And on the bottom, you do have the movements available to you. All the movements are a little bit different and they all have a similar trait. You're always able to move to an adjacent location as long as the card is there on the bottom. And you are able to use a portal to teleport from one location to another as long as you have portal tokens. As you can tell, the board has 10 locations and you can only move based off the card symbols. So definitely check out the cards. They're all very unique. It's very interesting movement. The cards are large, but that's mainly for the artwork because the information on them is none. There's no words on it whatsoever. It's all very standard, very straightforward. You don't have to know too much about how the game operates to get into it. You can learn as you go for sure. The audience for this game, I would say, are card-based war game area control lovers. This game has a lot of war game feeling to it because you're building an army, utilizing your resources properly. You want to be sure to be the one to attack the immortal warriors whenever, or the immortal god followers, whatever they're technically called. Whenever relevant, you have to play your card at the location and then put your person on there to show that is who you are controlling. It's just very interesting with how you go ahead and place the warriors onto that, I think they're called like commander or something like that, in order to then attack another player, which I think is kind of cool. Going into the player count for this game, the player for this game are 2 to 4 players. I believe all area control games are better at more player count. This one might be okay to have a lower player count with because you can have more turns in the game. Because the way that this game will work, you're going to need to have the followers move from the first island they're currently on into the next island. So at the end of every single turn, you're going to move them up to one island, one at a time. After those 10 turns have been concluded, then you're going to go from, again, starting at 1 to the bigger island and flip them over to show what their ability is. All of these followers have different abilities that will only trigger whenever someone is at that location. So if you're not at the location, you will not be able to get that ability. And then after all 10 are then going to go to the farther island, they're going to go back to the original islands. I think it's cool how you have a limited amount of time to go ahead and get them, get the abilities on these mortal god followers, I believe that they're called. And I like the fact that it's always variable, it's always changing. You need that in a game, whether the games get changed based on who you're playing against or the games get changed based on the board setup. This is definitely changing based on the board setup. The weight for this game, I would say, is about 2.25 to 2.5 out of 5. The reason why it's 2.5 and not just like a 2 is because this game actually does require some knowledge and foresight in order to win consistently. I don't think anyone would be able to like not understand what's going on and then still win, because you can definitely play your opponents, not just based on the fights involved, but also with the different god warriors, like the abilities that could pop up and that are presently on the board. So if you know you're waiting for one, you want to position yourself on a certain side of the board, whether it's already released or not released it. You want to go ahead and get on the right side of this board, both during the conflicts and before the conflicts. It's very interesting with the timing of it all. The length of this game, I would say, is about 20 minutes per player, because more players you have, the more you have to interact with on the board, the less spacing. But also you can get this game done in about 40 minutes if you have only 2 people. It's not too hard, because again, the game's going to end no matter what at 30 turns. So you think it would be pretty significant or the pretty same, but because of this game, you get kind of a flow state where once you take one turn, you already know what you're going to do the next turn, the next turn, the next turn. So the less the board state changes, the more you already have programmed what you want to do. In a bigger game, the more people involved with it, you don't really know too much what you're going to do until someone might attack you on your or right before your turn, or the more things can happen with the more players involved in between the games. Going to the aesthetics of this game, you can see from some of these close-up shots, this is very vibrant cartoon realism. It's very, very brightly colored, and I very much appreciate that. It's not just the coloring I'm using on the gradient for this film. It definitely is a brightly colored game. The warriors you're using look fantastic. They actually look really, really nice. I really hope this is like the actual game art, because if you don't know, this game was sent to me. I'm not sure if it's fully a prototype. It's definitely has some final production elements to it, I would say. But because it's not on Gamefound yet, and because it's not released yet, it's all subject to change. But I really hope not too much changes, because I really like the production quality of this game for the aesthetics. Going to the setup time for this game, I would say it's about 15 minutes to set up, because there's a lot of baggies. You have to kind of dump things out. You want to put basic soldiers in one pile, and not so basic soldiers in another pile, cards in one pile, deal everyone 6 cards. You have to assemble some of the standees and minis. I don't really know if this game is going to require or come with the 3D printed minis, or 3D standing minis, or the acrylic minis. I kind of like the acrylic minis a little bit more, just because they're pre-painted, they're double-sided, and the double-sided minis look so much better, or the double-sided acrylics look so much better than just the one-sided acrylics. It really gets you into the feeling of like you actually are that very fleshed out and beautifully colored creature, or person in this case, or warrior king in this case. And yeah, so there's a little bit set up to it. I'd say it's about 50 minutes between getting out of the box, getting the baggies, putting on the table, setting it up, and everything. But that's just my take. I do set up a little bit slower if you don't know. The teach for this game, I'd say, is about 10 minutes. I would really say if you're new to board gaming, it'd take about 20 minutes to like fully answer everyone's questions, make everyone comfortable with their first turns, the intentions, all the actions you can do in the movement. You're gonna have a lot of movement questions, because it's both positioned based on the board state and where your character is versus the lines connecting to everything, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, you're gonna have to keep that in mind. The mechanics for this game, the 3 primary mechanics are what I said in the beginning of the video. We have area control, we have resource management, and then we have wargaming. I know wargaming is not really a mechanic, but this game, I would say like what army building, because that's not a technical mechanic, but you really are building an army and utilizing properly, not just to attack other individuals, but to build power in a certain location to then utilize the god followers in that location. Yeah, so talking about the comparisons for this, is to Blood Rage. I would say this game feels pretty similar to Blood Rage, except you're not drafting. Instead of drafting your hand at the beginning of the phase, you're using the 6 cards from the deck that you have in your hand, which I kind of think I would prefer drafting, but actually I don't like Blood Rage because of the drafting. So this kind of overcame that hurdle for me personally. But however, I'd also never play Blood Rage less than 3 players. I would definitely play this game at 2 players, just because I think it's lighter. You don't have to think as much. You don't have to memorize anything. And Blood Rage, it's like, what are phase 1 cards? What are phase 2 cards? What are phase 3 cards? What are you going to bring from age 1 to age 2, to age 2 to age 3? What monsters are in play? Am I going to build my stuff? Blah, blah, blah. So that game is definitely more technical and difficult. This game is more lighthearted, card-driven, which is why I say the audience for the game is a card-based area control game, because Blood Rage has cards, but it's not really a card base, I would say. This game really is, you use your cards, and your cards are the primary resource and purpose in this game, for sure. You have tokens, but the tokens are there to supplement the cards, if you understand that. I know typically I have more sections in the video, but this one we're going to cut it a little bit short, just because this is still subject to change, because it's not released yet. It's coming to Gamefound this month, so I don't want to rate it, give it a certain ranking, even though it's going to be a different game by the time it comes out and the time that you play it. I might do it again if I get a post-production copy of this game. But overall, the game looks nice. It's not bad. I could definitely see this being a hit at certain tables. If you enjoy the lighter end of like a war game, kind of like the Battle for Hoth sections. If you like Blood Rage, but you want it to be simpler, this is a good fit for that area, amongst other potential area control games, which is why I want to know your favorite area control games. This is not as complicated as other ones, such as Wonderland's War, all those things. This is definitely a simpler one, almost an introductory level area control-esque game. If you want more information, definitely check out the Board Game Geek page. Go ahead and check out the description of this video and the comments of the video to find out how to find the Gamefound campaign, which is coming out again this month, last I checked. So thank you so much for Undertree Games for letting me check out this game. This is very unique, very high production. I'm excited to see how the campaign goes for you guys. Let me know what game you want to see before we buy a video on next. That's everything for today. Peace out, have a great day, God bless, and I really hope to see you at a table soon.